What's up guys, and welcome back to every Soulsborne boss ranked best to worst, and in this episode we're going through 71 to 80.
And after this it then becomes the bad bosses, so
Yeah.
this is the last of the
Yeah, this is the transition.
Yeah.
So things get pretty dicey from here on out.
It's pretty ugly. Like,
Yeah. If you just like can't handle anyone insulting Dark Souls, this is like the cut-off point absolute for you.
Yeah, you might want to turn away right now because
Yeah. Cover the ears and eyes of your children. They don't want to see what's coming up because it gets really bad.
Anyway, I suppose at this point like there's not even anything to fucking introduce. So yeah, I guess we'll just get right to it.
Okay, so topping off today's episode, our first boss is going to be the Storm King from Demon Souls.
Now the problem with Storm King is it looks cool, and everybody will be like, "Oh, but Storm King, it was so cool," and then you go,
It was massive, it looked awesome when it flew past you, and you're like, yeah, but that's all it did. Literally all it did was fly past you. Released a couple of manta-ray thingies, and it just flew past you. And like, all you had to do to beat it was pick up the sword and then hide in the house, and that was you flawless Storm King, because it literally can't do anything to you.
I mean, what were they thinking? This could have been so much cooler.
An archdemon that bears no lethality.
Absolutely nothing. Fucking.
I've fought Storm King standing out in the open, still no lethality.
I mean, if you're wearing the thief ring, it's not like nothing. There's not even a boss there. Like if you're wearing the thief ring or the clipper cat ring, whatever the fuck it is.
It's just not good.
But it's still better than the rest of the things on the list.
Yeah, because at least this thing looks cool when it flies by. Just wish it did more than that.
So there seems to be a bit of a theme going on here with the more recent bosses, and it's bosses that beat themselves for you.
And the next one that does that is Ceaseless.
Yep. So here's a boss.
Admittedly, his lore is great, just to get the good points out of the way. His lore is really good. That's it. Other than that, he beats himself for you. If you don't do him the cheap and cheesy way, then he has an expanded moveset, yes, and it can be quite horrifying, but why would you ever even consider doing that?
Yeah, why would you put yourself through it? Like, it's not even like it's difficult to. You pick up the armor, you run away. There you go. There you go. That's how you do it. You just run away.
No, wait, you need to pick up the armor, run away a wee bit, then stop so you don't get hit with the fire, then you run to the boss gate and that's you. But the boss beats itself.
I mean, what's even the point? Like, it's so funny. The first time I ever done this, I remember my friend said to me, "Oh man, Ceaseless Discharge. It took me so long. I'm pretty sure he must have used like 30 tries or something like that." And then I'm like, I beat it on my first go, and he's like, "What?" Because he said like, "Oh, there's like a secret way of beating it. Like, you just run away." Like, I never even fought it, and then it just killed itself for me.
Yeah, that's Ceaseless. Good old Ceaseless. So really all Ceaseless is a 40k soul packet with a health bar.
So for one of the fucking another
It's Najka, okay, from Dark Souls 2. It's Najka.
What's it do? Right, you know the design could have been kinda cool, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't do anything.
There is one thing that you can do which is funny, which wasn't intended. And
What, launch yourself out the fucking map with her?
Aye, that as well, but you can also get on her back and it literally immobilises the boss. The boss doesn't walk, the boss doesn't attack, she just looks over her shoulder at you as you're standing on her back, giving her the well, what is it basically? And she's just like, I don't know what to do! And that's it. Admittedly, it's kind of difficult to do that because you need to bait out the tail attack, but she just there's nothing interesting about her. She digs a little bit, she fires magic, she attacks you, that's...
It's just that the issue is that, sure, the digging thing is cool, but it's just not done, like, anywhere near as interesting as it could have been. Like, this could have been really cool if, like, the digging thing was used a bit better.
It would be really cool if she could kill something, but she just barely does any damage as well. Her real lethality comes from the magic, which is easy to dodge. You literally just run to the right, and that's you dodged it all. It just doesn't really have anything good going for her.
No.
She's just a lot of meh rolled into one scorpion-like ball.
Oh, admittedly, the whole thing with Tarkus is cool though. No, not Tarkus. Tark, yeah.
Yeah, but why would you even want to do that? Because you get the third dragon ring for free, why do you want the first one?
No, I suppose.
Alright, so next is Guardian Dragon. It's just... I don't know. It flies, sort of. Its cage is cool, but then when you look down and you see all the trees and like the actual box below you, you're just like, what is this? Like, it's like Lego trees, but like really old Lego trees before they became circular.
It's genuinely so oh fucking hell, man.
So horrible. The boss, by the way, isn't even a challenge. You can kill it before it can even take off, by the way. You can run in with a buffed rapier, and you can just spam it away, and it dies before it even... Like, it wakes up from its animation and gives its little stomp and its roar, and it's dead.
There is a cool thing, was if you kill it just as it's like a millimetre off the ground, it looks like it slipped on a banana.
Yeah, there is that. But that's really it. There's nothing else to say about it. It does these things where it jumps out of the cage. It's
the worst part about it is in the very next area, like the guardian dragons are just normal enemies.
Oh yeah, there is that. Like, you beat the boss and then just every dragon after that's a guardian dragon, and they do more damage and they have more health as well, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, just not good. Not good.
Nah, not good. See if there's like maybe 2 in the cage or something like that, then maybe it'd be like...
I mean, then it'd just be unfair, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, it could have been interesting if they'd done it like the Dark Lurker or something.
Just made it. Just could give it Calumet's moveset.
Oh, yeah.
That would have solved a few problems right then and there.
Right, so now we're on to Mytha, and Mytha is pretty much just the fucking Dark Souls 2 equivalent of the Iron Golem, except without any kind of intimidating factor. Like, literally, the actual model and design of it just looks like a fucking cartoon.
To be more specific, she's the Dark Souls 2 equivalent of the Iron Golem in the sense that the game gives you the summon that just fucking melts them.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as in, like, design or defense or anything like that. She has that poison room thing that you need to set the windmill on fire to get rid of, but even with the poison, she's not a challenge. Jester Thomas can 1v1 her. Jester Thomas can 1v1 the entire fucking, like, Earthen Peak and then still go in and beat her.
He's OP, mate.
Jester Thomas.
But, yeah, so... Fucking fuck Mytha. I actually hate the boss so much because the potential for her design being good was fucking awesome. Like, think about it, like, she could have had like an attack because she's like maybe Medusa. So, for one, her design could have been good just to begin with. 2, she could have like been bigger. Could have had like an attack that petrifies you or something like that, and then she like
endless possibilities, but none of them explode.
Like, think about it, right? She could fire out a beam, and if you're looking at her as the beam hits you, you get turned to stone, and then it lets her get a free hit in at you. So you have to constantly, like, not be facing her, or something like that. That would have been cool, like, having to do something like that, but no, there's nothing interesting.
Right, hold on, we'll get the mirror shield, and we'll deflect the beam back and turn Medusa to stone, eh?
That would have been an amazing way of beating her.
I think that would have been plagiarism from, like, several movies and TV shows.
It would have been cool as fuck, though, like, if you could actually, like, get the mirror shield and use it at that point. That would have been like a cool secret thing. But
that would be dependent on the boss being good, and she just
isn't.
No. But that's Mytha.
Fuck Mytha.
Also, her daggers are shite.
Oh, it's so bad. What's it do? Like, what does it actually do?
10 damage is what it does. Next on our list is the Phalanx from Demon Souls.
And frankly, just what were they thinking? Like, for this thing, right? Who goes into the fucking boardroom and goes, you know what we have for the first boss? A blob, a fucking blob, mate.
No. But he didn't go in and say we'll have a blob. He says we'll have a blob
of blobs.
Of blobs. And these blobs will have shields and spears, and you can only attack them from behind. But you won't be able to do that because they'll all be facing you. But they're all so slow that you can walk around them. And the Phalanx itself has 0 attacks. Like, the big blob has no attacks, and when you kill the mini blobs, it just runs away from you. It's not even a challenge. All you need to do is not run head first into all of them.
Like, it's literally astounding how anybody could fight this boss without beating it first time. Like, I actually died the first ever time I went into, like...
I've died to Phalanx because I done what I just told people not to do, and that was run blindly into all of them.
Yeah.
Like... Run around it takes 10 seconds, go around the back of it, kill it, done.
And the visual design is just so terrible. Like, I reckon that it's turned at least like 5% of people playing the game off the game just simply for its visual design.
I mean, you could say the same about fucking the Grey Asylum demon.
You could, but it's still not as bad as Phalanx.
Yeah, well, true. But yeah, Phalanx is just blob of blobs.
Yeah, fucking, oh, well done, fucking 10 out of 10, mate.
The one blob to rule them all. Alright, well, next on our list again, we've got the Leechmonger from Demon Souls. And it's just... What's the point in it being there? I mean, it's never a challenge at any point in the game. It's never a challenge because it's a boss which is essentially immobile. So if it does hit you, you can just run away and heal. Like, the boss doesn't even chase you down.
If you're using magic, it can't even hit you. Like, it literally can't... Like, if you have any sort of magic, it does nothing to you. 0 things.
And other than that, all it does is regen HP while you hack away at it until it runs out of HP. It's really, it has a few attacks, it does damage, and then you just heal because it can't chase you, and then you go in and you just grind away on the health bar again. It's another boss that has just no lethality whatsoever. It's not even a challenge.
Horrid visual design. At the very least, the phalanx is slightly higher simply because it is the first boss, but this is like implied to be the 5th boss of the game. So,
yeah.
Plus its design is so... Its design is okay, considering like it's made of leeches, okay, fair enough, but... For being in the hardest areas of the game, it's terrible.
Right, at least you get little like leech pants out of it.
Leech pants. Which, by the way, right, brings us on to Dirty Colossus, which it has the exact same problems as the previous 2 bosses, except even worse, because this is like potentially like the 10th boss in the game, and it is it's like negative difficulty. Like if you've died to this, you're disabled. You're literally disabled if you've died to this.
It is, like, I mean, I've played through Demon Souls past NG +7.
What even is its attacks? I can't even remember it doing damage. It's got like...
It swings its club. It's like stub club hand thing. It swings that. It does an AoE. I don't know. It's a boss that will never be memorable. Nobody gives a fuck about it because it just might as well not be there. I mean, it's a shame because every single boss in that Archstone as a boss isn't good. Because, like we said, Estrella's only as high up on the list as she is because of the lore, the atmosphere, the music and stuff like that. But as a boss fight, she's shit.
I mean, all the Archstone bosses are actually generally pretty crap.
Yeah, they really are.
But Dirty Colossus being the absolute worst of them, just simply because it's just... It's not even big, like, it doesn't even have a mechanic behind it, like, it's covered in, like, wood panels, and I think you need to break them off before you can do damage, maybe, but
you do damage to it, but when you break off the armoured panelling, then, like, you do more damage to it. And if you get... there is one funny thing where if you do get covered in the flags, you can just run into the torch and be like, set myself on fire, and then they burn away. But other than that, it's just... something else to kill.
What are they thinking? Like, I just don't
the actual enemies in the place before that, like the giants with the clubs, might as well have been the boss because they're way tougher than the fucking Colossus.
Literally one of those giants, given the context of where they put them in the placements, like where you can't roll, or the bit that you can't roll, that is literally harder.
It is infinitely harder than any of the bosses in that particular Archstone.
Like, see if the boss was one, like, 3 of those giants on a bridge made of sludge where you can't roll, like, you just wouldn't even be able to beat it.
No, because you can't even parry them. I tried. They one-shot me. But Dirty Colossus is just crap.
Yeah, it's
made of it as well. Okay, so this one is actually a Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah.
This is going to be the old Dragon Slayer.
Simply because they're just spitting in our face at this point. Because, right, the whole point in Ornstein and Smough being good is because there's 2 of them. But when you're just fighting one of them, when it's not like the buffed version, it's not even slightly a challenge. Like, it's a derivative idea. Like, it's literally just Ornstein, except it's got a couple extra moves.
No, it's Ornstein, but it does dark damage now.
Oh.
Don't forget that. The dark bit's important. Shows that he's not just a copy.
You know, the weird thing is initially when I first saw him, I was actually, oh, cool Ornstein, and I enjoyed the throwback.
Then you just realise I can walk right and avoid everything he can do.
Yeah.
And he has so little health by the time you can literally get you can get a Head Knight to drop you the Head Sword, and it will fucking annihilate him.
Oh, plus you can just get the summon for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can summon Glencore, and then just bolt it up to his boss gate and fuck him. And see, in Scholar, they made the journey to Ornstein tougher, but the boss himself was one of the easier parts of Head. Like, the bosses were actually the easiest part of Head Tower, which is kind of annoying, and it's kind of recurring in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
But this one's really low on the list just because it is just a complete copy. It's across games they've copied the boss. And
yeah, and it's not even as
they
good,
didn't even take the aspect of the boss that made it good. They just took the look and the moveset and didn't think about the surrounding factors as to why the boss is good. Like, there's a second one that's slower, how the movesets complement each other, because on their own they're complete hot garbage, and that's what Ornstein is in Dark Souls 2.
And it doesn't even make sense that he's even there.
It probably does, but Dark Souls 2's lore was so bad and so fucking, like, it was so questionable at almost every instance that there's not really much to follow as, like, actual truth. It's just a lot of maybes, and this is maybe...
shit.
Just shit. Yeah.
Right, so, it's the last giant.
The last of this episode.
No, it's
yeah. This is
still need to do. Oh.
So this is the last giant. This is the last one of this episode.
Ah, okay.
And the reason why he's this low is just because he's fucking hot shit, basically. He's like, just terrible. There's really no lethality. The one move he does that could kill you, he will never do, which is the body slam, by the way.
Yep.
And even then, if you can just see that he's going to do it, you can just walk underneath him and take 0 damage, and then he's just free damage. It does rip off his arm. You can cut it off, but it's just... It's not that tough. Just get under it. Get underneath it and it can't do any damage to you. They just alternate between which legs you hit.
You can't. There's literally nothing even good to like say about it. It's just this. It's just here's why it's a boss. Like is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Here's why it's a boss.
And that's it for the individuals.
Plus, it has that really annoying thing that I don't like that they've done in Dark Souls 2, where during the boss intro cutscene they put the mad blood pulsing thing. I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. It annoys me. But why is that there? Why would I walk through this boss fight and immediately see blood in my eyes for witnessing it? I don't like it as an effect.
Yeah, there's 0 reason for it.
No reason for it. It doesn't add to it. For me, it takes away because I'm just like, why the fuck are they doing this?
Yep.
But yeah, the last giant's just a big guy who rips off his arm and tries to beat you with it from further away.
And that's it for this episode.
Yeah, that really is. Welcome. No, yeah, this is when it gets really bad.
I mean,
this
episode was bad. Just wait till we fucking.
Yeah, we're pulling out the fucking machetes for the next few.
Yep.
It's going to be a bloodbath, an absolute bloodbath.
Well, so hopefully you enjoyed this episode. But if you enjoyed this episode, you'll definitely enjoy the next episode.
Ted Bundy's going to get off on the next episodes.
He's still alive?
No.
Oh.
Surely not.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Nah, he's dead.
Anyway, see you in the next episode, guys.